Welcome to our winter online event from the Learning Ideas Conference, focusing on AI, creativity, and learning. I'm David Guralnick, and I'll be here with you all day through a great program of speakers and panelists. I'm really looking forward to the entire program, and we're looking at this event as being very much a discussion as we go. So please use the chat throughout the day, ask questions through the Q&A, and we'll have, after each talk, there will be a Q&A segment devoted entirely to questions and discussion. So really looking forward to an interactive day with everybody. Also, spending a day on such a critical and timely topic, one whose effects resonate throughout our field and throughout society. So the theme of AI, creativity, and learning, something that we really are looking forward to talking about and find to be important. My own view of technology overall has always been a very human-centered one, particularly within the world of learning. So to me, technology can allow us to create enjoyable, valuable, individualized, meaningful experiences that can work for large-scale audiences. And that's if we design the right types of experiences. As some of our audience is aware, a lot of my own background from the early days is in AI as well as education. And a lot of the work I did long ago involved creating early learn by doing simulations that included AI-based coaching and feedback. So this was a different form of AI. This was the symbolic AI school based on rules and creating world models, as opposed to the large language models, the LLM view that's taken over today. But it was very much about AI in education and how AI could help people learn better and have really enjoyable, personalized learning experiences. So all those things have been themes for quite a long time. Even from the early days, both inside and outside of the educational arena, I always envisioned AI as being helpful in ways that would perform otherwise time-consuming tasks for people and free up people's time to focus on more meaningful and creative work. So that's always been the way that I've looked at creativity, and where AI could help was more from the perspective of freeing people up than anything else. But with the advent of LLMs, the types of AI that have taken hold, or generative AI, right? So that generative AI has the ability to, in some form, do a lot of work that's been the sole province of humans to this point. Writing, image creation, video creation, all those things. So then the question is, where does this leave us? And more critically, where will this take us? Where can generative AI fit in and be helpful, potentially improving work? And where does it simply create mediocre work that lowers our collective standards? And where does it prevent people, and especially students, from learning how to think and analyze and think critically? And where does some of this risk dehumanizing us? What effect will generative AI have on jobs and the future of work and how we evolve as a society? So there's a lot to think about, and both a lot of pros and a lot of things to consider and to think about as we go and decide how we feel and what we want to do. So we'll explore these and many other questions within the context of higher education, the workplace, and society all throughout the day. And underlying all of our discussion are a number of themes. One theme revolves around what work should be done by machines versus what should be done by humans. And to me, it's not exactly the same as asking what can be done by machines, at least depending on your definition of being done or being done at an appropriate level of quality. Related to this is the larger question of what it means as AI takes over more creative work. So, if AI takes over the writing of meaningless memos, for example, that's great. Though we could argue, how many of those memos do we really need in the first place if they're so easy to create? But also, what about more significant creative work in writing and in media, images, video, all those kinds of things? There's really a lot of work that people have been doing for years, and where does AI fit in best there? People learn quite a bit from creating and from all parts of the process. You learn from the agony of trying to articulate an idea for the first time and to articulate it clearly. Um, you need to have the discipline to finish something, the commitment to thinking through something from different perspectives, the willingness to try to experiment and to redo things when you're not happy with the path that you went down. So these are all things that are part of the creative process and a valuable part of our learning experience, as well as something that contributes to the products that we want to create. So in practice, will people use AI to help in this process? Like, for example, using AI to review work that we created and to suggest improvements, which I think can be very valuable. Um, or will people rely too heavily on AI to do the creation and just, you know, describe what you want and see what you get? So everything's a learning experience in a sense, and work to me, and especially looking at things from a long-term perspective, is about process and not just about product. And that raises a lot of questions, again, about how and where AI can best fit in and should best fit in. Some of the best creative work, some of the most imaginative work, also comes from a sort of feel that the creator has. Right? So if a machine emulates feel, does that come across as authentic? Is it authentic? Or is there a sense of emptiness, a sense that something's missing? And I think sometimes we see AI produce things that lack that feel, but sometimes there are things that maybe feel a little bit better. Also related to all of this is the future of work, how it will evolve. How will jobs change over time? How will work change over time? Can things evolve in a way that will create a better society, one in which people, and it's certainly a concern here in the US, have more time to breathe, more time to pursue interests, live their lives, in ways that let machines help free up their time? All this leads to the next theme, which is that of values. How do we use AI ethically in ways that are consistent with our values in society? And moving back to higher education, workplace learning, how can we best make use of AI to cause positive change in education, to reimagine what educational experiences can be in better, more active ways, ways that are more humanizing rather than less? Every time there's a new technology, there are new opportunities. And sometimes technology takes over in ways that are much less humanizing, but it doesn't, in my view, have to be that way. We can use technology, and particularly AI, in ways that create human experiences if we design the right kinds of experiences. Another key question, which I referred to earlier, is how can we best help people become better at critical thinking? It's a skill set that's needed now in today's world more than ever. This is a world where it's more and more difficult to distinguish between real and fake, between reality and fiction. How do people sift through the massive amount of content that we encounter on a daily basis and start to better and continue to be better at interpreting it and understanding it and recognizing what's real and what's not real, and what really matters? Also, if we've seen a lot in the world so far as generative AI systems continue to evolve, AI can produce content at an unprecedented rate. But some of this content is going to be very low quality, right? So we'll see things that are called AI slop. On the other hand, AI can also do magic. So, we certainly want to take advantage of the magic. So how can we best maximize the magic and minimize the slop? That's another key question to keep in mind. Any technological advance provides an opportunity, and we do have a tremendous number of opportunities with AI. And that's a lot of what today is going to be about. So as we explore these themes, both today and moving forward in the future, we have the opportunity in our various roles as educators, as technologists, as caring members of global society, to not just sit passively as the world changes, but to make things happen ourselves, to continue to be creative and bring about positive change. And for me, that's a lot of what today is about. So it's about not just reflecting what the world is today and where AI is today, but thinking about how we can best use it to create educational experiences, experiences that help workplace performance, things that relate to future jobs, all of those things in ways that are going to benefit people, are going to benefit organizations, going to benefit society all in the long run. And there's a lot of opportunity, I think, for us in this field to make things happen rather than only to rely on kind of you know, what we get and what the inputs are. So there's an opportunity to, we don't have to create our own AI systems, but the way that we use things, so the experiences that we design, the ways that we incorporate AI into both the processes and the product, um, all are critical and all can come from people very much in this field. So as we go, as I said, that's a lot of what today is about. So we have you know, an event that I'm really, really looking forward to. In terms of today's series of segments, we'll explore AI, creativity, and learning from a variety of perspectives through our talks and through the panel discussion. I'm really looking forward to all the sessions today, and we're looking at this event as a way to start a conversation. So please feel free to use the chat, ask questions in the Q&A. We'll have a LinkedIn group that's already existing for discussion both during and after the conference. And at some point, we'll have that link in the chat as well. So we also hope to see any of you. In fact, here, okay. So there's the link as well. We're going to put that in the chat. So we have a LinkedIn group as one way to continue the discussion. And there's the LinkedIn link if you want to see it. Also, sessions are going to be recorded. So if you miss a session, you can go back and watch it later. And our team will post the recordings as soon as they are ready at our event site. And we hope to see many of you at our June hybrid event, the Learning Ideas Conference, which is our largest event from June 10th to 12th in New York and online, also with online talks on May 28th and 29th. So there's really a lot going on over today and then over the next several months and always as we look at this as all part of an ongoing community and all part of a discussion that we want to continue. So really looking forward to every aspect of today's program. As I mentioned, we have people from a variety of perspectives, a variety of countries, lots of things to contribute, lots of things to show, lots of things to talk about. And that's really what I'm looking forward to here. So with that, let's get to today's program.